All right, now it's time for In the Mix with Politics, brought to you by Politix.topic.com. We're not on the right side, we're not on the left side, we're on your side. Your news and information for this week with your host, David Mark, Editor-in-Chief of Politix, and me, Will Roberts. I'm just a humorist tagging along to put my spin on things. By the way, our disclaimer. None of the humor necessarily reflects the views of my friends at Politix.topic.com. All right, David, what's the scoop?
We have had so much going on this week, but the big overarching news has been the NSA surveillance methods. This notion that the National Security Agency is what critics say is spying on American citizens using all kinds of data collection. It's highly controversial and contentious, and we're going to hear a lot more about it going forward.
Good. All right. Well, here's what we're going to do. Of course, I've picked out some of the top things on politics.topics.com. Again, that's politix.topix.com. And this is what I saw on the homepage. Here's one. It says, Congressman, by the way, the congressman's name is Trent Franks. Congressman, rate of pregnancy from rape is very low. Now, I have to tell you, David, I used to live in Las Vegas, so this whole idea about telling women what they can do and what they can't do with their body, well, it's very familiar to us in Las Vegas. We call those guys pimps. What do you think?
Well, I wouldn't quite liken this congressman to that line of work, but this is highly controversial. This is one of the most anti-abortion congressmen out there. This is a guy, when he was in the Arizona State Legislature, used to wear a little necklace of a fetus, or you put on his tie clip as well, because you're so anti-abortion. And he said in a Judiciary Committee meeting that was discussing legislation to essentially ban abortion after the first 20 weeks of pregnancy, the rate of pregnancy from rape is, quote, very low. That's kind of channeling something that was said by Todd Akin, an infamous Senate candidate from Missouri. It's not likely to help Republicans win over female voters.
Right, and this is the one also that I think that said that you have parts of your body that can help refuse that. I'm not sure if that was Todd Akin or not, but someone's saying crazy stuff like that.
You get all kinds up there on Capitol Hill.
Right. Okay, next story, of course. NSA director quoted to say, "We're committed to your privacy." Now, I think that this is a pretty simple one. I think the government should tell the American people that this whole NSA thing that they're doing is really just a reality TV show. See, that seems to get Americans to allow cameras everywhere, willingly. Not really fortunately sometimes. What do you think?
Well, you make an excellent point. I'm not a fan of the National Security Agency or any government body being able to just spy on people and have all that information. But people put out an awful lot willingly. And I think the biggest concern, mistake that people have made over the years, is to think that they're getting something for free. Gmail is free in theory. Facebook doesn't cost any money. But as you learn when you're grown up, there's no such thing as a free lunch. And so, sure, you're not shelling out a monthly fee, but you're giving out all kinds of other information. So I think people are finally realizing that you don't get anything for free in this life, and everything has strings attached, so you better be awfully careful what information you put out there.
Absolutely, I believe so. And by the way, we're being recorded for quality control. All right, the next story is, it's a poll that was done, and it says more people like George W. Bush than dislike him. And I think it should be rephrased, and maybe you want to consider this. It should be more people like George W. Bush, now that he's nowhere near the White House, than dislike him. What do you think?
Yeah, the big case of absence makes the heart grow fonder, and the fact that he's been so out of sight for so long. He reemerged recently with the opening of his presidential library. But other than that, the guy's been awfully quiet. But agree or disagree with him, like him or not, you got to give him credit that he has not stepped on President Obama's spotlight. He stayed away. And I think, if anything, people realize that the presidents have tough decisions to make, and I think most of them look better in hindsight somewhat. I still think this may be his high watermark for his post-presidency, and he's not going to be remembered all that fondly going forward.
Yeah, this is definitely a time to release a book. Okay. All right, so the next story is Senator delivers floor speech in Spanish. Oh, by the way, folks, don't worry, though. If you want to get the edited and translated version, please contact your local NSA. What do you think?
Indeed. This was a case of a senator, for the first time, we believe, in Senate history giving an entire speech in another language. It was Senator Tim Kaine. He's a freshman Democrat from Virginia. He was talking about the immigration bill. He's not a guy with a Hispanic surname or anything. He happened to be a teacher down in Honduras several years ago, a few decades ago. He speaks fluent Spanish, and for the most part, the speech got pretty strong reviews.
Yeah, well, of course it should. I mean, actually, quite honestly, you'd be appealing to more people, because I'm sure that all of the folks that didn't understand Spanish would probably be looking to see what it said, and of course, then you're appealing to someone that does speak Spanish. All right, well, that's it. David Mark, editor-in-chief of Politix. That's politix.topics.com, politix.topix.com. We'll see you next week. I'm Will Roberts. I'm just a humorist trying to give my spin on things. See you soon.